reality is true.
I'm not arguing about biological reality.
Yeah, my chromosomes instruct my opinion first and foremost. So XX, XY chromosomes, and I reject the term gender, actually. It's sex. And you have a sex at birth, and you cannot change that. So let me just kind of ask a question. Medical advancements, the medical community can be very wrong. We used to do lobotomies, and I'm glad we stopped doing that. So doctors have been wrong before. And in fact, doctors have been wrong about a lot of things over the last 100 years. And in fact, if all of a sudden the medical consensus from the AMA, which is headquartered right down the street, by the way, is that we have to have these pediatric gender-affirming reassignment clinics that have breast reduction surgery or literally...
Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's Clinton White here today. I'm checking out another Charlie Kirk. It's been guys, it's been a minute since I actually checked out Charlie Kirk videos. But this time I'm back again with it. So hopefully YouTube does this thing properly, Charlie Kirk Rex, the leader pro-trans long-haired hippie. Interesting. I think I actually said that before. I'm not really sure. But anyway, let's get back into it.
All right, hey. So I know you're buddy with Michael Knowles. Recently, he said the phrase, quote, we should eradicate transgenderism. And
that is correct. Yeah, you got it right.
So
yes.
I know you
From
agree
public
with him.
life.
Yes,
I know you agree with him on some level.
Of course.
How would you go about that?
Every
How do you
person in the
eliminate
world
transgenderism
agrees
without
with that.
eliminating transgenders?
Okay, I warned you about this. I love the passion. Let the process play out, okay? Jeez. So specifically, he said transgenderism, right, which is an ideology.
Yeah.
And he
Well,
said
they're intertwined, like Judaism and Jewish people. Like,
well,
they're
hold on.
hand in
He
hand.
said
I don't
from
know.
public life.
What?
Okay. So, yeah, that's not the best example.
Yeah,
so don't use that one.
What did he just do?
But let me kind of zero in on this. Yeah, I do agree with it 100%. The best way is that we should not be platforming or acting as if a mental delusion is normal, good for children, or something that is acceptable in decent society.
Yes.
So,
Mental delusion.
in what
you said
way
it.
is it? Okay, so throughout history, we've had these medical breakthroughs where we learn that things are just like how people are, Who's to say that somebody is not born the wrong gender? Like, what is there?
Because it doesn't happen.
So
You don't choose to just come in and then be whatever you want to be. That's not how life is.
A medical breakthrough. How do you know it is a mental illness to be eradicated?
What?
Yeah, 5,000 years of recorded history and common sense that men can't
But
give
back
birth.
in history, were there not like skeletons being dug up with female artifacts around them? Were there not sculptures of two married women? I mean, it's been a thing forever. It's been, transgenderism.
Let's play this out. So how do I know that biological reality is true? Chromosomes.
I'm not arguing about biological reality.
Yeah, my chromosomes.
But you have to use that to actually
my opinion first and foremost. So XX, XY chromosomes, and I reject the term gender. Actually, it's sex, and you have a sex at birth, and you cannot change that. So let me just kind of ask a question. Medical advancements, the medical community can be very wrong. We used to do lobotomies, and I'm glad we stopped doing that. So doctors have been wrong before, and in fact, doctors have been wrong about a lot of things over the last 100 years. And in fact, if all of a sudden the medical consensus from the AMA, which is headquartered right down the street, by the way, is that we have to have these pediatric gender-affirming reassignment clinics that have breast reduction surgery or literally mastectomies for 12 or 13-year-olds to then assign them Lupron, estrogen, and testosterone treatment for somebody that might just be going through puberty and having anxiousness and unease, I'm probably going to call that doctor a fraud.
Yeah.
And any person with common sense should do that too.
Exactly.
Last thing. So my main question was about the term eradicate transgenderism.
Yeah, sure. Can I give you some examples?
Yeah, sure.
We shouldn't teach it in our schools. We also shouldn't allow men to compete against women in NCAA sports.
Yeah, that's true. Because that's totally wrong.
What about the people who are transgender that have converted, are currently
How about this?
transgender?
So why
Would you forcefully detransition them?
Yeah, how
or
about
what's the plan?
why couldn't Thomas still compete against men despite his mental delusion? Why do we have to reaccommodate all female sports for a single individual that obviously has an advantage with bone density and testosterone production? Why is it now our problem? Why does society have to reorganize and reconfigure for one very loud, obviously disturbed person? Wouldn't it be more fair to say, okay, you have a problem, so keep competing in the category that you were born to? You can still wear whatever you want, I guess, and dress and do the treatments you want, but since you're such an excellent swimmer, go swim against boys. Oh, because he's a narcissist and he used to finish 200 against boys, and when he competes against girls, he wins the championship because he's a cheat. Because it's all about him, not about the competition or about fairness.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I mean, that's all I was wondering. Thanks.
That's actually like very true. You see, most of these people that do these transitions that they do, they rather try to compete in a sport that is meant for the opposite gender, because they know the people maybe like they're more superior in terms of their bone density and their other things that make them men normally or internally, so they're kind of like having more advantage, so they know they're going to perform better in those sports of women, so that's why they choose to compete in those things to make everything about them. So they're always like coming out first, coming out winning, coming out shining, coming out bright, or than allowing people that are actually programmed for those kind of sports to be the ones taking the glory or taking the victory. Totally wrong. That's narcissism at the highest peak. Why don't you just go ahead and then try to put on the same? Charlie Kelly said, let them put on the same stuff they are doing, but take it somewhere else. In a place where they are internally fitted to be, and then see how they flop so badly. It's actually amazing, guys. I actually like this kind of videos from Charlie Kelly a lot. Trying to talk about people trying to confuse gender and sex at the same time. Wrong. You don't choose who you want to be. You are who you are meant to be right at birth. Like there's no changing it. It's actually like a mental stuff to think that you were born with the wrong gender. You're supposed to be a boy, and then you're born as a girl, or you're supposed to be a girl and then you're born as a boy. That's psychological, mental stuff. So they need to check them properly to make sure they're alright. I mean, to the psychiatric ward or something. Because actually, like very wrong if you actually like calm down and think about it. Why will you be giving birth to as a boy, and then you just randomly all of a sudden say you're not comfortable being a boy? Like, what made you say you're not comfortable being a boy? I think the first should be learning what triggers those kind of emotions. When they learn what triggers those psychological emotions, then they will know how to go about it. I think it will actually help a lot in reducing these silly things going on around in the world right now. So they have to like know how they feel or what made them say those kind of stuff, or say those kind of things that are bad. Yeah. So that's just what I think. So they should find the root cause of the mental issue, because obviously it's a mental problem. You can't just wake up one day and just imagine I just woke up one morning and I just start screaming that I am Donald Trump, or I'm the president of a particular country right now as a YouTuber. Like, doesn't make any sense. And then saying it alone is all right. I mean, people joke about stuff like this all the time, but like when it gets out of hand is when they actually believe it internally, like so their brain have been reconfigured to believe something. Like, I just woke up this morning and I just said that, okay, I am Donald Trump, and then I'm not just saying it for jokes anymore. I'm not saying it on reality. Like, that is what I think I am, and that is who I think I am. That's where the problem comes in. So I think it's kind of like, yeah, I know it's a psychological stuff, it's a mental stuff, so it needs to be talked about a lot. People need to like maybe create some type of research that have to do with helping people that are going through this kind of stuff get back normal. So yeah, that's just my take on this whole stuff. Anyway, let me know what you guys actually think. Do you think it's psychological stuff, or do you think it's just people being stupid? Yeah. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to drop all your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to also subscribe if you haven't already. See you guys in the next video. Peace.